Hi, it's Neil Thomas here from Wedding Help NI. Jenna, we are 1 year
I know, I can't believe it.
and we're the first week of our new year, new podcast. Of course, Wedding Help is Northern Ireland's largest platform for couples getting married. If you're looking something for your wedding, do get onto the website. It's www.weddinghelpni.com. It's a brand new website.
I know, and it looks fantastic,
It does.
doesn't it?
It looks great.
Quite a lot on there for all you brides and grooms and couples. So.
Yeah. Our guest today, Chris Rooney from Champagne Memories. And Chris, you were actually saying this will be no bother. You're the podcast king. You know exactly what you're
Don't know
after
about
today.
that now. You can be the judge of that one.
You'll be all
Getting the
good.
score marked out.
You'll be all good. Chris, take us right back. So Champagne Memories, before that even came about, you know, you were sort of hospitality industry, isn't that right?
Yeah, so I worked in hospitality. I worked for Hastings. I started off working in the Stormont Hotel.
And before that, you were in a bar before that and all too.
Yeah,
as well.
I've been working from no age. So I worked, we work in men's clubs, stuff like that. And then just by chance, a friend of mine phoned me and says, you know how to cover bars, don't you? So I ended up covering a shift in the Stormont and ended up there for years. So I worked for Hastings for years and I moved over to Malone Lodge and I was a duty manager in there for around a year. But I'd already started my own business at that point, so I knew I needed to be more flexible. So
What age were you around that time then?
I was about 20.
Very good.
Around about
Very young,
20.
like.
So
I suppose with the Hastings group as well, that one thing that's going to teach you is a real standard of things as well.
yeah,
Because
Hastings were brilliant to work for.
yeah, and they sort of, they just know what they know what they're at. The
Yeah.
whole operation, like because like I bet the Everglades and different places, just the whole operation's unbelievable.
Oh,
like,
it's
isn't it?
all about attention to detail. Do you know, your service and that's all the wee things that you pick up. And they were great. Even now, I still have a brilliant working relationship with Hastings. We supply the bulk of the hotels, the hotel group now. So, but yeah, I would always recommend, and I love my time working for them.
Aye. So you started that at 20, and then you went down to the Malone Lodge, which is
It's in Belfast city centre. So
aye.
I was duty manager there for around a year, and then it was just getting more experience as well within hospitality. But I knew I was starting my own business at that point, so I needed to be flexible. I couldn't work Saturday nights and things like that. So I then worked for a company called Clearwater. So we were it's environmental services, checking hot and cold water systems, a lot to do with Legionnaires. So it was, but it freed me up. I was able to, I was maybe getting into work I was starting work at 4 a.m, getting into hotels, setting up in hotels, having to go to work for Clearwater and then going back again. So it's all about building the business. Do you know, that's a bit that people don't see.
I suppose that is a big one as well. Building like most businesses, we're all sort of a one-man team or a two-man team. It's we're not big sort of things as well. But even taking us off starting that business, you really started with the business, of course, Champagne Memories. I don't think we mentioned that yet.
Yes.
But your business is Champagne Memories, and that's what you started off with, was the big champagne.
Yeah, the bottle.
Classic,
And even now, I'm just after sitting one this morning in the Clannyboy Lodge, and still the reaction they get. So now they've been updated as time goes on, and you can modernise them and change them, but nowhere else does them. Even England, we get so many inquiries from people from England looking for things like. So we a couple of years ago.
What year did you start the business? Sorry, so
2010.
2010, you started.
I started. So I started off. I think my first wedding was in Le Mans.
Right.
And then I got a phone call from Pim, who owns a Clandyboy, to do his daughter's formal in the Clandyboy. And then it snowballed. Then other hotels started, and then I was building the relationships at that point.
What made you want to start this? Where did the idea come from?
So I was doing them for Hastings.
Right.
So
okay.
and I was very fussy about, I was getting in and putting the ideas and going, we can do this and we can do that. And I'm always been about attention to detail. So, and giving that wow factor, for people, because at that point in time, everything was very basic then. Do you know, it was a table with glasses on it. There was nothing. And I was like, right, you need to create wow factor here. You need to have people talking about things. So I started with the champagne fountains, doing them there, and I seen the reaction they were getting. I was like, you can make a business from this. There's no one else doing this.
But I think in the last 10 or 15 years, even the whole thing has just, exploded because, taking back to that thing that you said, it was just, tablecloth,
That's
glass, there was no fancy things in the tables. There was centerpieces, but there wasn't like it is now.
Centerpieces then was a fishbowl with do you remember the old it was like we ball things. You put water in them, and
Aye.
like jelly,
Aye,
and like a couple of butterflies. It was just it was
Aye.
completely
It's just
different. Then.
completely different and completely changed. So you really started off with the champagne fountains,
Yeah.
and then did you sort of just say, right, I need to invest more, because now you have a product range that would blow your mind. Like,
Yeah, we basically supply everything now.
Aye.
Even we supply directly to hotels. A lot of suppliers come to us directly as well.
Aye.
So people might not even, we're doing people's weddings and they might not even know we're doing them because they're going to
No,
other suppliers
aye,
and the
aye,
other
aye.
suppliers are coming to us for the stuff.
Aye.
But I started off with one champagne fountain, then the next minute we had like 6.
Right.
So that's how we
Aye.
scaled the
Okay.
business that way. And then we just started getting into like different wee features. And then I brought my brother-in-law in with me, I think in around 2016. And that made
That's what I was saying as well. I always saw
Chris and Chris.
I always
Aye.
I always
right.
took Chris, because
Yeah.
anywhere I would travel and stuff, if I'm setting stuff up in my own wee business, I see Chris and I always just thought that was Chris
Yeah.
Rooney. So I
So that's
never.
trying to say he does all the work then.
what I'm saying, if you're watching, watch Chris's, sir. So Chris
Reid.
Chris, I always thought that you were the main man because you were doing all the work.
Yeah. I'll keep that bit off the podcast.
That's a perfect 10-second reel there. We've just did it all the time.
cut. But
The beeping noises and all.
Chris is he's brilliant. I'd be lost without him. Like we're bigger, like we're a married couple. But
Aye.
it's good. Like, he's a mate of mine too. So
Yeah.
it's good going to work with your mate. And
But I suppose that the business just got so big as well that you couldn't run that as like a
no,
one,
you couldn't do it.
you know.
And everything's trial and error too.
Aye.
People think that you've got a massive workforce behind you and you've
Aye.
got an office full of staff, but we're a family-run business and
Aye.
we've got young kids and we've so much stuff going on too. So
Aye.
that's the hard bit too. You're trying to balance everything, and you're trying, like, it's all, as I said, trial and error. You're always trying to make things better. So
Aye.
it could be 1 minute you could have everything going really well with your admin, and then you get really busy and you struggle to keep on top of admin, and it's hard to keep.
Even this time of the year is a great example of that,
Yeah.
because I'm sure, I know over the last couple of days, we're sitting here in January at the minute, and like between year, just emails,
Yeah.
WhatsApps, Instagram message, everything, and it just sort
And
of
that's a
blows
hard
up.
bit as well to keep on top of, because
Aye, sure.
people are coming from, like, before it was just Facebook.
Yeah.
And then, or maybe emails. Now there's Instagram and there's different platforms and WhatsApps, text messages, and you're in your head. You're going, right, if I reply to that, because we're always out on the road as well.
Aye.
So it's tough.
And
That's
it's,
the hard bit.
it's an excitement as well for couples, because they're seeing something and they want to know more information
Yeah.
about it.
That's it.
And it's excitement of, I need to find out about this, I need to get that information. And sometimes it can be just like, right, we'll get you,
Yeah.
we'll get there with it, like,
And you're going, right, I'll do that when I pull over. And then,
Aye.
like even this morning, I was mad rush to hear. We ended up Clandyboy Lodge this morning doing a couple of bits and pieces
Aye.
for a function tonight. And then it's down the road, and it's like things that you hadn't factored
Yeah,
in.
you
Rainfall.
never see
Yeah.
it, you never see
So
it.
you think, a lot of time you think you have more time than what you do. And
Aye.
you're like, all right, I'll get that done today.
Aye.
But then we get a lot of phone calls last minute too from venues saying, can we have this for a function tonight?
Aye.
So you have to then run off, and that's, that's like we build our business on, see for the likes of hotels, when they come in, they know we always look after them. You always try your best to make sure
Aye.
if they're stuck, you get it sorted for them.
How did
So-
you find upscaling? I'm sure that was, I'm sure whenever you started off, you didn't have a warehouse and stuff. You were like literally probably nearly working from a van.
Oh.
as
I
such.
started with
Do you know?
my mum and dad's spare room, and then when I got my own house, I was then using the garage.
Aye.
Then we took a storage space out near Carry Duff direction, but it wasn't big enough. So now we're based in Belfast on the airport road, so we've had to move. Now where we are is perfect, and we're
Aye.
on the motorway, and each
Isn't that
motorway in
crazy
second.
though?
So
Like,
yeah.
Aye.
how far
So,
you came, you
yeah.
just got bigger and bigger.
Aye, when you look back on it all,
how
like-
did you find that process? I suppose
Sometimes, but
in
you-
doing that, like
Sometimes you have to sort of sit back and reflect on it, because you don't.
Aye.
You're so busy with life that you don't really realise how far the business
Pinch
is.
yourself moment.
Yeah,
you're moving to the next part nearly. Like
Yeah.
it just blows your mind.
yeah.
Like,
Sometimes you do. You need to like sit back and go, right, we've done a good job. So,
Aye.
but it's like you're always trying to get better. And
it is full time. It's full time too, because a lot of people think, oh, you're just setting the stuff up at events, so it's a weekend and that you do nothing between Monday and Friday,
know.
It's
and
the
you don't
prepping.
realise everything's prep.
Yeah.
You're prepping and prepping and
See,
prepping. Like, and,
this week,
you know,
we have a big unit, and we were down there yesterday having to pull it all apart. Everything's getting fixed with a showroom, so we're getting the showroom all fixed up again because it's hard. Because see, when you're busy, stuff's coming and going from the showroom, so you're having to use it. So then it gets to the bit where you're like, right, we can't bring people down because everything's getting taken from it. So now it's like, right, get it all fixed up. And I think we've enough stock now that we don't really need to touch the showroom. We can leave it as it is. But again,
and I suppose that's all as well, you know, changing trends. And I suppose wedding decor is the biggest thing for that. You know, trends are always changing in wedding decor, and you're always, you know, do you find whenever you're chatting to couples, how do you work that? Because couples might be coming to you, say now, for like 2028 weddings, and there's probably a lot to that, like, isn't there? Like,
well,
you know?
I always say to people might see stuff now that, like, they'll book stuff off us, and I'll say, like, don't cement, like, book the big features that we only have a couple of things of, maybe water walls, dance floors. If you need like a certain type of chair, book them in, because we only have a certain amount. But see, for like the decor side of it, because we're always changing our stock, and then everything's about social media now. So people go on the Instagram or TikTok, they see different things and they go, oh, I wouldn't mind changing that.
So Alexa centerpieces and I suppose even them the weird sort of things.
The smaller details. I always leave that to, like, even 6 months before, and then we can go, right, let us know, like, cement everything in, all the smaller details. So like we have Mel who comes in and does like our floral stuff and all now, and so like we can have the stuff in store and she comes down, it's all prepped mostly in our unit. So that's where the bulk of the work's done in the unit, and then on the day you're just turning up, you're setting it all up, maybe doing a change around, and then all the attention to detail on site. You know, like I see at the minute it's all candlelight. I love see all like candles and nice decor like that, all just be nice touches. So it's all time consuming, so you're having to make sure you have everything there and all like your vases and all's clean, and that's all the stuff you're prepping that in the store and then turning up and getting it on, so it's easier on the day.
Where did the name come from as well?
I took ages to think about.
Really?
Yeah, and it was because it was Champagne Fountain related, that's why I went with Champagne Memories.
Yeah.
I've thought for ages about rebranding, but we're well known now.
I suppose now you have so many different products.
Yeah, so we looked at like CM events and things like that, but we've been doing it for years. And
I don't think it would change too much. And as you say, you know, your business is so big because you have that B2B, so business to business.
Yeah.
You have, so whether that be hotels, whether that be our suppliers, vendors and stuff that you're supplying to as well.
Yeah.
And then I suppose then you have the couples as well coming to you, you know?
Yeah, so yeah, we're in a good position. We're lucky that, you know, we've got so many good, like as Chris was saying earlier, we've so many good relationships with all the hotels all over the place, you know, and it takes years to build that, you know, and they know you're like, we're coming and going and we do a good job, and again, if they're stuck, a lot of time I'm the first, they'll phone me and be like, look, I'm stuck, and we do what we can to help out. It's the same suppliers, you know. If a supplier phone me the day of a wedding, like something broke and I've got it down, like take it, you know. I'd rather see, you know, I don't think anyone's stuck.
Get through
and
the
there's
job
it's not like a
done,
competition like where you're like, oh well, they're competition against us and I'm not going. It's someone's wedding day, so you want to make sure. And plus, I know what it's like with stress as well.
I suppose that is a good thing with wedding help as well. It is that sort of community thing.
Yeah, that's it.
And we do sort of rely on each other, and we do contact. You know, as your Chris here, Chris be always in contact with you, annoying you for stuff. So.
Well, whenever COVID happened, like Chris drove to Ross Harbour for me. You know, I COVID, couldn't leave the house, and he drove to Ross Harbour for me. So it's you know, and then if there's if he needs stuff, we do the same for him. So it's
that sort of way, and you know, that's a great way to be, I think, in the wedding industry too. You know, and I suppose couples don't see that. You know?
That's it. So it's
I suppose going on the couples, it can be hard as well keeping up. We sort of touched briefly on the admin and all, and the hard thing of that too.
Yeah.
And I suppose couples, you know, if maybe there's only 1-2 people in the business, it's maybe doing the admin. You know, I know for myself, like I do all the sort of admin in my sort of thing, and it can be overwhelming too. Like,
the admin's the hardest part of it. It's keeping on top, and it's like, you know, we're living normal lives too. We've got young kids. You're doing the school run. You've taken kids to football. You've all that. So you're trying to work, and plus have a social life as well. Do you know,
Aye.
you're trying to,
Aye.
it's not all, you want to be able to go out and enjoy yourself too.
Aye.
So
You still have to look after
yeah,
yourself.
that's it. You go to the gym, you
100%.
do all these things. So you have your own thing, but you're out on site and you're working, and like people say, oh, you take all people on, but it's also a finance. You're paying your store fees. You've got all your overheads
Aye.
as well. So sometimes it's not as easy just to be like, right, we'll bring people in and pay out all the
Aye,
wages
aye,
and
aye,
stuff. So
aye.
there has to be like a balance of it too.
Aye.
So our plan is as well having everything with a new website getting built at the minute, so putting everything on the website, so it details everything that we have. People can tailor their own packages, and then we also, like, say people's coming in and they want quite a lot of stuff, we always give them a discount and we'll look after them. So we'll say, look, get a rough idea of what you want, come in and then tell us, and then it makes things easier. For both.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I know, like, let's say last year was probably the hardest for the admin side of things, keeping on top of it. It was just
You had one of them years, just it was a bit crazy. Like, you know.
you couldn't have writ last year for us.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I actually went through divorce myself, so you had having to go through that was tough, but
Aye.
also having
and of course trying to run a business.
you're trying to run a
doing the
business. You're
same-
looking at making
same
sure the
thing.
kids are okay. You're
Yeah.
trying to like ban like
It's another thing on top of already what you're going through
yeah,
with
so
the business and the kids.
Yeah,
and,
so it's all these wee things in the background. So you're trying to work, but your head's not ready too. So you
No,
were trying to
no.
deal with that. I was buying my house, had to like then do all the work in my house. I was in the middle of doing all things like that. Then my mum took bad, so she had breast cancer in 2020, and then it came back again in May, June time last year.
Yeah.
So she got cancer, and then it progressed quite badly. So within 12 weeks she died. 5 days
Goodness.
before my mum died, my granny died. So
Yeah.
you know we were dealing with that. So we were planning my mum's funeral at my granny's funeral. Like, you know,
Wow.
my mum died on the
My
Tuesday night,
goodness. Aye.
and my granny was buried on the Wednesday morning. You know, the
Aye.
two of them were both in the same room in the funeral
Aye.
place together and all. You know, so you had all that. So you're trying to grieve, but you're also trying to see when you're self-employed. You have, like, we had weddings on. You know, we had a big
And
wedding.
It's so hard maybe as well for couples to understand that, because you tend to do things in your own time.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So a couple send the message at 8 o'clock at night, normal, because that's, you know.
Well, that's their planning time. You know, they've been
You
at work
know,
during the
aye,
day, so they're
you know.
sitting planning their
Yeah.
weddings,
Aye.
and
You're nearly looking at your relaxing time
it's
at
not,
that
it's,
time.
at
you know.
that time I'm maybe getting just home from getting the
Aye.
kids in from football, then making lunches for the next day,
Aye,
and
aye.
it's like you've got your own routine at night as well, and
Aye.
then you try and sit down and get through as much as you can. So it's just trying to find the balance.
I suppose that was really hard as well, because you say your business very much as a family business, you know.
Yeah.
So yourself and Chris, you know, he's basically our family, isn't that
Yeah,
right?
so
and
when
stuff?
everything happened last year,
You know-
it affected us all. You know,
Aye.
Chris is married to my sister, so she's obviously grieving, and then he was having to be there for her. He was also being there for me because he was taking on more work because I know to be freed up as well.
Aye.
So yeah,
And you had big weddings on at that time, and what can you do? Like it's you know, it's
my mum died on the Tuesday. My granny was buried on the Wednesday. We had an event on the Thursday, and then we had a big wedding on the Friday in the old rectory, and with a lot of stuff to do. But you have to go on. Do you know?
Aye,
That's why
it's,
you had to just keep. As much as looking back on it now, everything was very blurry, but
Yeah.
everything went perfect. But you know, it's real life problems. You know.
It is.
And fair play, you kept going and you
Yeah,
did it.
that's
so
it. Yeah, well, we
good
didn't
on
let
you.
anyone down. You
And
know,
I
that's
think,
the thing. You have to.
you know, it's like we know this as well. There's a sort of, like this time of the year, January is great. Do you know what I mean? You're nearly cruising along. Just
Well, I'm hoping that
you know,
we're still being
9 days in,
Aye,
it's still
but
being
it is sort of, you know, it's not like sort of the May, June, July,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you're just, you know, like I know come May, June, July, like literally my days, a couple of businesses I have go from sort of, you know, relaxing days to like
Not the
16-hour
100.
days, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just all go, like. You know, and you'd be the exact same. You know, you're setting up and you're going to the next place and stuff as well. So I suppose that's all part of pressure, and there's
Yeah.
so much then putting your plate along with that.
And
That's mad.
January's like because last year was so chaotic with everything that was going on. It's like we want to we're now really motivated again, and it's
Yeah.
like, right, do you know what? That year was a nightmare. But as we were flat out, it was a busy
Aye.
year, and it was good. But personally, it was tough. So
Aye.
you're trying to. I want this year to bounce back from it all and be like, right, motivated. So now we're like getting our store out, getting everything fixed up, getting everything in place, and then making a big push on everything again.
Aye, ready to
Because
go.
even on social media, we barely posted because we couldn't keep on top of the admin. It was all these wee
If
things
you were
had
posting,
not.
you were nearly getting overwhelmed then with the whole
Like,
thing.
you look at the year we sponsored the social media awards, we sponsored the Wedding Journal show, we were in London for the BBC with like Zara Davies of Dragon's Den and Fred from First
But
Statesman.
even the Wedding Journal show and all, like it's a massive. And
Yes.
the setup and that, and even like, you know, whenever you're saying sponsor, I suppose for listeners, like, you know, that means you're bringing on so much stuff.
We've done everything for them.
doing so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you explain some of the stuff, it's mad. Like, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
there's
you know?
so much work in it. You know, you're putting out all the stuff for their catwalk show, all the different features for
Yeah.
them. You know, all like their VIP areas with the settees and all these things that make the place look good. So we were doing all that stuff for them. Again, social media boards was the same. We put everything in for there.
As you say as well, like with social media, you do kind of need to still take your time with that too to promote, because you want your business to look good, come across good, and it's not just uploading away you go. As you say, the admin and uploading and captioning and tagging.
When you put stuff online, then the inquiries were coming in, and we couldn't keep on top of it. And it's all good and going, I'll get someone in to do that for you, but then it's training them as well, and then a lot of stuff still had to come through me. And I was as well dealing with a lot of stuff last year too, which was hard to keep on top of that. So it's now we're getting everything.
But the good relationships you have with the likes of the Wedding Journal and them, you know, them sort of companies as well. It shows how much they trust you to come on and do that as well, which is quite a compliment, you know.
Yeah, like no, we've worked hard for it, and we're reliable, we're good, and you know, it's to me it's about, you have to be good with people as well. And I've built my business on, I had to make it personal as well. Like there's part of me doesn't like to give away the admin side of it, because I like to know, and then I like to build relationships with people as well.
It's your business too. So.
Yeah, so it's something, you know, what I've worked for years. So I like the bit of, I can, like, you could bring someone in and they could be very just robotic, and I don't like that. I like it to be personal.
And it's hard as well, because I know, especially with the sort of decor and that side of it, like I know from doing like with my own sort of wee business, Wedding Extras, where we're doing the letters and we're doing you know, photobooths and stuff. You're packaging a lot of stuff, and it can be hard to, you know, because you want to give the best to people. You want to, you know, especially with couples, a wedding is very expensive anyway. So you're maybe packaging something, you can't hand that over because they don't know. You know, it's hard to. Not saying that every quote's, you know, near enough the same, but you're trying to help people as best you can, I suppose.
Yeah, you're always trying to help. And see now, no wedding's really ever the same.
No.
You can't really go, right, this is a certain pattern, everyone, because people want their weddings to look different as well. And I like the challenge of when it's someone's wedding and you're going, like, different
I
things to do.
I can only imagine we the size of your business, even thinking of my own with maybe the 15 products I have, I would say you have, you know, hundreds of products, you know.
Sometimes you know, even yesterday,
to try and work that out would be crazy.
We were
you know.
got in the store yesterday and we're all racking in, we're putting, and sometimes even when you step back and you go, see the amount of stuff, and we also own like shipping containers as well. So we've stuff in shipping containers, and like it's not even just in there, there's mountains of stock. And sometimes when you see it all in front of you, you're like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff there. So I just keep adding more and more in, but it's the way, like, where years ago you got away with having fish bowls on the table. You didn't have to like keep adding in. Now you can't do that. Like we were sitting yesterday and I opened cylinder vaginal for candles. We have enough there. Like you could probably fill this room twice on the floor. Like there's hundreds, thousands.
I remember you did my 30th birthday.
That's right, in Crumlin Road, wasn't it?
Crumlin Road,
that's right,
And even like now, like that still even stands out to me, because I'm like, he was so accommodating and he was so good.
It's hard to believe he's in the road 30 years, isn't it? Like,
I just made 30 last week.
I know.
But it does stick out, as you're saying, like, you know, all the people, the suppliers you come across, like that still sticks in my mind. Like, Chris did that and he was really accommodating. And
no, well, that's what
lovely.
you try to be. You know, I try to be and just nice with people, and it's just in my nature the way I am too, like, and it's the way that you would build your business like that as well.
Tell us about the BBC thing, how that came about. And
yeah, so it was girl Chantel from here, so she entered a competition to be, it was Ultimate Wedding Planner, it was called. So people from all over England, Scotland, so Chantel was on it, and she had showed them our stuff, and they contacted to see if we could come over to supply for the final. So we then had to take the lorry over on the boat to Liverpool, drive from Liverpool down to London, and we supplied it, like chairs, all the decor, loads of different things for us. So it was good. It was good publicity, and we were working with Fred and stuff on First Dates and Zara Davies and that, and. But even then, see the reaction that even when they were seeing this stuff, like, we haven't seen this stuff before, and all the people that was there, and you were there, and all the TV cameras, but look, it was brilliant. It was a really good experience.
What was Fred like? I love him.
Oh, he's a nice fella. He was dead on.
Nice fella.
He was dead on. Like, you know, he was people coming in, he was getting interviews, but we were standing whenever it was all going on. When it was an actual wedding there, when the wedding was going on, then we were just standing at the back talking. Zara Davies was lovely as well. Yeah, she's very nice to work with too.
Yeah.
But like, no, it was a brilliant experience, and that's what we had all those wee things going prior to last year, and building, and then last year it was, you had to just take that wee bit of a step back. You had to make sure your kids and all's fine too, and all those wee things. So it's like you don't want to feel like it was wasted, because you push so much with social media and all that, and then had to like slow it all down again last year. But in the day, you had for your own headspace as well. You know, you have.
And sometimes you need that too, like, you know, because as we drew on a bit, you know, a small business, 2 or 3 people maybe involved in the sort of run of it. Yeah. And there's so much going on, like, and you do need that headspace away from it all, like, at times, you know, that's... It can be just meltdown, like, so it can, you know.
But you did it.
Yeah, well, that's it, we got through it, and we're back, and we're feeling more, not even that we're back, but it was a normal year in a way, but it was just the stuff going on was tough to deal with too. You know, we're grieving and stuff, you know, you're trying to, all those things, but then I like to be busy, so it's good too, in that wee bit that you can
keep your mind going.
Yeah, keeps your mind.
I think that's a sort of certain person as well, like, and that's probably why it's worked so well for you. Your work ethic has probably really helped you along the whole way, because I think anybody that really succeeds in that, it's their work ethic that really builds on them to getting that.
I would say a lot of people could have crumbled. We're going through that last year, where, you know, I would say probably mentally strong to go through it the way we did, but just come out of it motivated and ready to go again. So maybe a few more grey hairs, like, but so that's.
You can pull it off.
I suppose. Tell us now about some of the different products, or the products that would be big. So we obviously know the champagne.
Yeah, well, we can supply basically everything.
Chairs and everything. You do the
chairs. We have a big range of chairs, champagne fountains, water. We like to do stuff that nobody else really has. You know, we try to be a wee bit different. We're going all decor. You know, we've Mel working for us does all florals with mountains of centerpieces, different linens.
And you can go right down even to charger plates and all.
All different types of charger plates, gold cutlery, tables, chairs, mirror tabletops, draping. Basically.
So really transform your venue.
Like, we can go in and.
That one we did in August, the mirror one in the Clawdon.
Yes, that's right. The mirror, we've done the mirrored aisle. So we can do a lot of stuff. Like, we can put big dance floors in, we can put mirrored aisles down, we can seamless dance floors, and I think we put our initials on the dance floor. We put the graphics and stuff on it. So and then their wedding dates, so it's personalised too for, you know, like your first dance. So you've got that, so whenever your like a Sparky takes a photo, that's, you can see the bride and groom in it, and then their names and stuff. So
it's a nice sentimental touch to
it looks good.
With letters and everything.
It
was all good.
It was fantastic.
The light up letters, and then with cold spark machines and things like that as well for them. So we
the class after meal entertainment too. So
it was this fella.
All the top suppliers.
There's only the big guns out, like, you know.
That's right. And then we've done because we're able to we've done the mirrored aisle, and then we've reused it for along the top table, which looked good. So we flooded it with all the candles along on the floor of the top table.
So they'll contact you via social media, and then what do you give them, like a package or something? Or?
Yeah, so we'll send over, now we're changing our brochures at the minute because we've so much new stock come in. So we're just updating the brochure at the minute. We'll send over, I can send over stuff that gives you a rough idea. And then once, hopefully the website's finished in the next few weeks, we want to try and have all the prices, everything on it as well, because it gives people an idea. But then we also like to look after, if people come in and they want to take quite a lot of stuff, you know, we'll throw that in for free and we'll look after you. You know, I like to, again, make it personal.
Alternate it.
Yeah, and that's it. And instead of just putting out the same package and going, right, this is what you get, and it's the same thing, and every wedding look the same, you want to make it, I like to make things different.
I think that's important as well for couples, because they always want to, you know, you want your wedding to be a bit different from, you know, something maybe you've seen. Maybe you've seen something you thought was really nice, but can we do something a wee bit different to give it that sort of unique?
Everything's now, well, people see all these weddings in America and stuff, they're on TikTok and all, they're like, oh, I want this. But so you're trying that, we try to have as much of the stuff in as we can. Obviously, you can, you know, we've got the bulk of the stuff there, but you're always trying to update
and find new things as well.
Yeah.
Well, what's easiest is Josh Champagne Memories? Is it on Instagram and Facebook?
Yes, it's Champagne Memories event, and then our website is www.champagnememories.co.uk. So that will be up and running in the next few weeks.
Aye.
Brilliant.
Just get
and everything,
all the last few details
and
on it.
everything
And then
will be on there as well.
Definitely, like, we start the plan, I'm like, oh, but, and then I can't settle because I'm like, I'll send and change it. So, but that's the plan, get that sorted in the next couple of weeks.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. I think we've touched on everything.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's brilliant.
Yes, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Chris. So that's Chris from Champagne Memories. Thanks so much, Chris. And best of luck with
this year. Thanks, folks.